Wallis Simpson, Duchess of Windsor, remains one of the most enigmatic and glamorous figures in 20th century history. Her life, marked by romance, scandal, and high society drama, is a riveting tale that spans continents and royal courts. From her modest beginnings in Baltimore to her high-profile marriage to Edward VIII, her story is a tapestry of intrigue, style, and significant historical impact. Early life, a modest beginning. Wallis Warfield Simpson was born on June 19, 1896, in Blue Ridge Summit, Pennsylvania, a small and seemingly inconsequential town. Her parents, David and Alice Warfield, provided a comfortable, if unremarkable, middle-class upbringing. Wallis's early life was colored by her father's early death and her mother's struggle to provide stability, leading to frequent relocations and boarding schools. Educated at Oldfield School in Maryland, Wallis exhibited a flair for social charm and sophistication, traits that would later become central to her public persona. Her early adult years were spent working in a series of clerical and secretarial positions, and she eventually married her first husband, Earl Winfield Spencer, in 1928. This marriage, which ended in divorce in 1936, was a precursor to the more dramatic chapter of her life. Meeting Edward VIII, a royal romance. The defining moment in Wallis Simpson's life occurred in 1931 when she met Edward, Prince of Wales, during her time in London. Edward, known for his charisma and rebellious spirit, was immediately captivated by Wallis's sophistication and charm. Their relationship, initially a secret affair, soon became the subject of intense media scrutiny. Edward's position as heir apparent to the British throne made their relationship a matter of national concern. The prince's infatuation with Wallis was evident, and he was often seen in her company, sparking rumors of a serious romance. The couple's relationship was not merely a personal affair, but a national scandal, as Wallis was still married to her second husband, Ernest Simpson. The abdication crisis, a dramatic turning point. The romance between Edward and Wallis reached a dramatic crescendo in December 1936. Edward VIII's decision to abdicate the throne in order to marry Wallis created one of the greatest constitutional crises of the 20th century. The British monarchy faced a profound dilemma. Could a king forgo his crown for love? The answer came in the form of Edward's dramatic abdication speech on December 11, 1936, where he declared his inability to carry out his royal duties without Wallis by his side. The abdication led to Edward's immediate replacement by his younger brother, George VI. The impact on Wallis was both immediate and profound. She was thrust into the spotlight as the woman behind the abdication, a figure of controversy and fascination. The British government's reluctance to recognize Wallis as the official consort, coupled with the turbulent political climate of the time, added layers of complexity to their situation. Marriage and exile. The Duchess of Windsor, Edward and Wallis were married on June 3, 1937, in a private ceremony in Paris. The wedding, though modest compared to royal standards, was a glamorous affair, attended by high society and celebrities. Wallis, now styled as the Duchess of Windsor, was thrust into a new world of luxury and intrigue. The couple lived primarily in exile, traveling between Paris, New York, and other glamorous locales, away from the formal constraints of royal life. Their time in Paris was marked by opulence and high society events. Wallis became known for her impeccable style and elegance, becoming a fashion icon of the 1930s and 1940s. Her wardrobe, often designed by couturiers such as Booker and Schiaparelli, showcased a blend of sophistication and modernity, solidifying her status as a style icon. However, the couple's life in exile was not without its challenges. Edward's status as a former king and Wallis's role as his wife often placed them in the center of political and social intrigue. Their relationship with the British royal family was strained, and they were frequently the subject of gossip and speculation. World War II and political intrigue. The outbreak of World War II in 1939 added a layer of complexity to the couple's life. During the war, Edward was appointed governor of the Bahamas, a position that involved diplomatic and political responsibilities. Wallis accompanied him to the Caribbean, and their time in Nassau was marked by a blend of social engagements and political maneuvering. The political intrigue surrounding the Duke and Duchess of Windsor during this period was significant. Allegations of pro-German sympathies and other controversies clouded their reputation, and their relationship with the British government remained tenuous. Despite these challenges, Wallis continued to maintain her glamorous public image, hosting lavish parties and participating in high society events. Post-war life, legacy and influence. After World War II, the Duke and Duchess of Windsor settled in Paris, where they continued to lead a life of luxury and social prominence. Their home, the Villa Windsor, became a symbol of their continued status and wealth. Wallis, now a fixture of high society, remained a figure of fascination and intrigue, frequently appearing in the fashion press and at exclusive events. Despite their continued prominence, the Duke and Duchess faced ongoing challenges. Their strained relationship with the British royal family, coupled with the passage of time, meant that they were increasingly viewed as relics of a bygone era. The couple's life in Paris, while glamorous, was also marked by a degree of isolation from the broader royal sphere. Final years and death. Wallis Simpson's later years were characterized by a blend of continued social engagement and private reflection. The Duchess's health began to decline in the 1970s, and she spent her final years in relative seclusion. The Duke, who had long been the more visible public figure, increasingly took on a caretaker role. Edward VIII's death in 1972 marked a significant turning point for Wallis. The loss of her husband left her without the central figure in her life, and she retreated further from the public eye. Wallis spent her remaining years in Paris, living quietly and reflecting on a life that had been both extraordinary and controversial. Wallis Simpson, Duchess of Windsor, passed away on April 24, 1986, at the age of 89. Her death marked the end of a dramatic and glamorous chapter in modern history. Her funeral, attended by a small circle of friends and family, was a private affair, reflecting the more subdued final years of her life. Legacy and impact. The legacy of Wallis Simpson is a complex tapestry of glamour, scandal, and historical significance. Her life, from her rise as a socialite to her role as the Duchess of Windsor, remains a fascinating study of love, politics, and personal resilience. The impact of her relationship with Edward VIII and the subsequent abdication crisis reshaped the British monarchy and had lasting implications for the royal family. Wallis's influence on fashion and style continues to be acknowledged, with her wardrobe and public appearances remaining subjects of interest for historians and fashion enthusiasts alike. Her role in the abdication crisis and her subsequent life in exile have ensured that she remains a figure of historical significance, embodying the intersection of personal ambition and public scrutiny. Wallis, Duchess of Windsor, led a life that was both dramatically compelling and exquisitely glamorous. From her humble beginnings to her status as a social icon and the wife of a former king, her story is a testament to the complexities of love, power, and identity. Her legacy, marked by both scandal and style, continues to captivate and intrigue, ensuring that her place in history remains both prominent and enduring. The Duchess's life, with its blend of opulence, romance, and controversy, is a captivating narrative that continues to resonate in the annals of modern history.